What did you just say to me? Did I hear what I think I heard you say to me? Do you realize the words that you just said are really damaging to me and to my soul? You got to watch the words that you speak out of your mouth. Don't you understand that some people do not like the words that you say and the way that you say them? Don't you know you need to form your words? You need to think before you speak to me or to your spouse. You need to think first. You need to realize that you could say some words that could cause somebody to be damaged for the rest of their life. There's some words that you need to keep to yourself, and there's some words that you need to say with peace and with grace and with some understanding to help your spouse understand that there's a point that I'm trying to get across. What did you just say to me is what exactly is what your spouse is going to be saying when you bring up words that are unkind. They're not encouraging. They're not uplifting. You didn't even think before you said it. You just opened your mouth because that's what was on your mind, and you caused somebody's feelings to be hurt, and you caused somebody's feelings to be damaged. You know, you could cause somebody to have PTSD. They're going to be suffering for the rest of their life. I've heard of stories where a father might have said something. Actually, this was in a movie where a father said to his son, and you probably remember the movie, and that, you know what? You ain't nothing. I'm not nothing, and you ain't nothing either. You gonna never be nothing. You ain't. I mean, he used a few choice words when he said it. I won't repeat those words. But did you know that Proverbs 18:21 says, death and life. Death, because most people speak death first. They always have the negative. They always say the bad words first. Death and life are in the power of your tongue. Watch the words that you say to people. Watch the words that you say to your children. Watch the words that you say to your spouse. You know, I don't understand for the life of me why people think you can say any old thing to your spouse and then they want to be romantic 5 minutes later. What is wrong with you? There's something seriously going on where you need to pray about this situation. Ask God to help you with your tongue. The Bible talks about how a lot of things and animals and everything could be tamed, but that little tongue is a small member, and the Bible talks about is like deadly poison, cannot be tamed. Good God Almighty. Woo! That's a terrible thing for that little member of your body to have so much power, so much authority that you could just damage someone for the rest of their life. Watch the words that you say. All right, let's get busy here. Proverbs 18:21, death and life are in the power of your tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. You're going to eat the fruit of death based on what you're saying, or you're going to eat the fruit of life based on what you're saying. You know, you're believing God. You made a vision board. You talking to your spouse. You guys are on one accord about what you want for your life, for your marriage, for your ministry, whatever it is. But yet you have a problem with your conversation. You have a problem talking to one another. You have a problem with communication. You can speak death or you can speak life. Which one are you going to choose on today? Death or life? You know, if I were you, I would choose life. So today I'm talking about 10 things you should never say to your spouse. There's some things that you need to keep to yourself. If you're not going to say it with grace, with peace, that in a way that's going to bring understanding, harmony, in a way it's going to bring agreement. You know, you need to keep it to yourself until you pray about it and ask God, Lord, how can I say this? How can I say this to help my spouse understand that this is a problem for me? Here's number one. I don't want to hear that. What? What you mean you don't want to hear that? Do you think you're talking to another child? When you're telling your spouse you don't want to hear that? You know, you're sounding so dismissive. You don't care to communicate with your spouse because you don't want to hear that. You're not in a position of listening right now because this is something that hit a nerve with you. You don't want to hear that. Look at this number 2. I told you so. What do you mean you told me so? What are you saying?
You can't see nothing but your head.
That's okay. All right. He was telling me you can only see my head. Let me adjust this. Adjust the camera. Okay. Hold on. Y'all excuse me for just a moment. Okay. All right. Is that better? Is that better? All right. So the second one is I told you so, excuse me, which implies that you are not, you have told them several times and they're just not listening. I'm still adjusting this camera here. They're just not listening. They're not in a position to hear what you are saying to them. Oops, sorry. Okay, there it is. Okay, so they're implying that you are not in a position to hear them. I told you so. It implies you are just not listening at all. So in other words, I have told you this several times and you're just not listening. So I'm going to say, I told you so. Didn't I tell you that before? That's something that you want to make sure that you're not saying to your spouse in that tone, in that way. Ask God to show you how to say this, how to talk about these things. All right, number 3, just shut up. What? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to the dog? Are you talking to an animal? Shut up. You ever said that to your dog? Then why is it okay for you to say the same words to your spouse or even to your children? Just shut up. Why? Okay, that also implies that you are very disrespectful. You're very disrespectful. You're not in a position where you are respecting this person. When you tell somebody to just shut up, you just close all avenues of listening to this person. 4, are you actually going to wear that? I'm going to tell you something about saying something like that. Well, you know what? Plaid, stripes, flowers, all kind of things match these days. He can wear whatever he wants with some assistance from you. If you know how to rephrase that, one way to say, are you actually going to wear that? Or even for her, if he's saying that to her, are you going to wear that today? You know, that could really hurt somebody's feelings. Or you can say it this way. You really look good in that outfit with the blue top and the black pants. That looks good on you. Why don't you put that on today? You're just making a suggestion. You're not trying to dress your spouse, but you are trying to make sure that you form your words that it will be receptive to the individual. Number 5, when you say calm down, that just fuels the fire. that just escalates the disagreement. When you're telling a person to calm down, what is going on with you? In other words, first of all, you don't understand what's going on with me. You don't understand what's going on with your spouse. You don't understand what's going on in the situation at the current time. Calm down. You are implying that this person is very hysterical. And do you know that escalates the disagreement? It escalates. It makes it worse when you telling somebody to calm down. Excuse me. Let's look at number 6. I wish I never met you. What did you just say? I wish I had never met you. Wow. These are some true statements that people have actually said to their spouse. You know, in my study, in my reading, these were actual statements that people said. I wish I had never met you. How is your spouse going to come back from that? You're pretty much saying you're horrible. I don't want you anymore. I don't like you, because you're saying, I wish I never met you, because since you came into my life has not gotten better. My life has gotten worse. So I wish I would have never met you. Is that something you want to say to your spouse? How are you supposed to come back from that? The next night you want to make love. But meanwhile, this other person is saying, this person wish they never met me. In other words, they hate me. You know, they don't like me at all. Death and life is in the power of your tongue. Did this, we have to think first. Did this situation speak life? Did it speak death? Or did it speak life? If you're telling somebody, I wish I never met you, that's a death statement. Your relationship is pretty much over. You're wishing it was over. Let's go to number 7. I hate your parents. You're in a heated argument. You're disagreeing with each other. The first thing you say is, I hate your parents. You hate my parents. If you hate my parents, you pretty much hate me too. Because these are the two people I love unconditionally in this world. I love my parents. So how could you tell me you hate my parents? You need to find a way to get on the good side of your parents. How do you expect your spouse to feel after you say you hate her parents? The two people that your spouse loves unconditionally. If you hate the spouse's parents, you pretty much don't like your spouse either. How you gonna tell me you hate my parents, my mama and my daddy? And number 8, I hate you. You just said you hate the parents. Now you hate the person. How do you expect them to come back after that? How do you expect them to return to the relationship after you've said all of these things? I hate you. The total opposite of I love you. These are some strong words. I hate you implies I don't like anything about you. You hate the whole person. You hate the way they look. You hate the way they dress. You hate the way they talk. You hate the way they walk. You hate the job they go to every day. You hate them in general. Every time they open their mouth, you just hate it. You just told this person, I hate everything about you. When you say, I hate you, you're in a heated argument, and now you want to apologize. You need to apologize, but you know what? You need to be thinking before you speak. Watch your words. Your words have power. Your words have authority. You know, that's why we do declarations every single day. I declare that this is happening to me. I declare I have favor all day long. I declare. Now, if you go around and say, you know what, when I go to this job interview, I know they're not going to hire me because that last job did this and that last job did that. And you know what? You are so, these are just people, deaf that people speak on their own self. You are just so beautiful talking to somebody else. But then when it comes to them, you know what? Ooh, I just got all these bumps on my face. I got this going on with me. I can't talk. And, you know, I'm scared and this and that. You just spoke death on your own self, on your own life. So be careful what you say out of your mouth. Number 9, and I'm closing after number 10. You are crazy. You're just crazy. Wow. You just implied your spouse has a mental illness. What is wrong with you? Saying those things out of your mouth, saying that your spouse has a mental illness. So I can't trust anything about you because you are crazy. What is wrong with you? Do you know we use the word crazy so lightly? We say, girl, you crazy. You know, you're just joking when you say it like that. But don't even say that to me. Don't even joke about that to me because I already know that I have the mind of Christ. I know that life and death and life is in the power of my tongue. So I'm going to speak life on myself. I speak life every single day on my own self. So I don't need you coming into my life, anybody, any friend, family, or whatever. Don't come into my life and tell me I'm crazy. You know, I was on a job, let me give you a small testimonial. I was on a job one time many years ago, probably 10, 15, well, no, that was way a long time ago. Maybe 20 years ago, probably. I was on this job with a person who became a potential member of our church. You know, and then she told me how they was always watching me and there was always drama going on. You know, I was the executive administrative assistant for that position, in that position. And so I worked closely with the director at the time. And so the young lady told me, she said, you know what? We're planning this party and we're going here and we're going to be drinking. We're going to be partying. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. And you know, and then I kindly told her, I said, no, the Lord saved me from all that. I don't have to do that anymore to be happy. I don't do that. I don't have to do that anymore. So every time they had an event, you know, they were kind enough to invite me to come. They was hoping I would change my mind, but I didn't. So what happened was they said, you know what? It's something wrong with her. Then they would talk about me. Something is wrong with her. She is crazy. She don't want to drink. She don't want to party. She don't want to go to the dance tonight. That girl is crazy. There's something wrong with her. See, when you are different, when you dare to be different, when you're walking upright, when you're holding your head up, when you're trusting God, when you get saved, when you get set free, when you get delivered, people think you crazy because you are the minority in your job setting. You are the minority now. So they think something's wrong with your head. So they said, you know what? That girl is crazy. But to make a long story short, this person ended up getting saved, getting set free just from watching me with the so-called crazy person. She got saved. She gave her life to God because she saw something different in me. And these girls were out there fighting. They had drama all the time. To the point where after that, I started telling potential supervisors, one thing I don't do is drama. I don't do drama, so don't invite me into your drama stories or your situations. Because I need you to realize that I speak life over myself. So, number 10, I'm not crazy. I'm just a born again believer, trusting God. Number 10, and I'm closing. What have you ever done for me? What? You up there paying bills with your spouse. You are doing things with your spouse. You're loving on your spouse. You're cooking for your spouse. You're doing this. You're doing everything that you know how to do. And your spouse is going to ask you, and this could be a man or a woman. You know, there is no rule that say a woman's supposed to cook all the meals. What have you ever done for me? What? That, you know what? I had to have a moment of silence for that. Because every single day, you're doing something for this person. Every time you go to work, you're doing something for this person. Don't tell your spouse. These are 10 things you should never say to your spouse. What have you ever done for me? What do you mean ever? Do I need to sit down and get a notepad and write out everything that I actually done for you? You did this in a moment, a heated moment of disagreement. So when you disagree, you got to make sure that you still have life in your conversation. You are definitely feeling unsupported. You're feeling unsupported. When you ask the person what have they done for you, you're feeling unsupported. You're feeling unappreciated. You're feeling let down. You're feeling miserable in your life, in your situations. What have you ever done for me? What? Don't say that to your spouse. So I have just given you 10 things that you are not supposed to say to your spouse. In other words, you need to turn it around. Ask God to give you grace, mercy, and wisdom on how to get the points across. Because I remember telling y'all like a week or two ago that they have a joke out like about a woman saying a woman never forgets, like an elephant. They say an elephant never forgets, and that's just like a woman. She never forgets. So you got to be careful with your words. Watch what you're saying. Women, you have to be careful too with how you say it, because it needs to be said, but then there's a way to say it where you're going to make sure that you are not hurting somebody for the rest of their life or for the rest of your relationship. Because after that, saying the wrong words, your relationship is going to go down. And you're wondering what's happening. You're wondering why they're not responding to you. Because you don't know how to talk. You don't know how to communicate. And then let's look at Proverbs 18 and 21 again. Death and life are in the power of your tongue. That little member right there. Death, you can speak death or you can speak life. You know what? It's more likely that your children will prosper more when you speak life and encourage them and tell them what they're good at. You're really good at this. Now, if your children have gotten to the point they're just not going to listen, then you know what? As a parent, as a mother, as a father, you still going to tell them that's your son. You still can tell them that's your daughter. You still can tell them. Whether they're listening a lot or not. And when you get ready to go on to heaven, they're going to remember it. I remember things my mama said to this day, and she's been gone over 25 years. I remember some of her words. I remember her saying specific things. I remember her telling me to save $10 a week. I was 14 at the time, so $10 was a lot of money. And, and I remember counting it up some years back. And I was like, man, I would have had $200,000 and some thousand in the bank if I had to listen to my mama. So her words, she was trying to speak life into me. My mama saw something in my future that I didn't even see. 14, you can't even fathom. All you know, you got your mama, or those of you who got your dad right there, they're going to take care of you. I actually heard one young man say, I ain't got to work. My mama going to take care of me. She messed him up. My mama going to take care of me. My mama going to look out for me. I don't have to work nowhere. You know what? She allowed him to speak death on his own life. And he ended up, in a bad place, bad position. So, God bless you on the day. Sorry about the mix-up at the beginning of the video. But I want you guys to learn how to speak life to your spouse and don't speak death. Don't speak words that are detrimental to their mindset Don't speak words that's going to hurt them for the rest of their life or for the rest of your relationship, whichever comes first. So that's the word for today. I want you to go out, those of you that want to be a blessing to this podcast that I bring you each and every day, 5 days a week. You can sow to my Cash App at $Sherry Bray, $Sherry Bray, or money sign, whichever you want to call it, the money sign, Sherry Bray. And then also you can go to my Stand store if you're interested in a free consultation from myself, or maybe Pastor Bray is going to jump in there and help me out with that. I want you to go to my website. Stand store is listed right above this video, and you'll be able to sign up for that consultation. Look around and look at the marriage manual. If you are engaged, this is something that you want to do. Make sure you get counseling or some type of consultation before you say I do. All right. Let me pray for you on today. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for your loving kindness. We thank you for waking us up this morning. We thank you for the beautiful message that you've given to me on death and life is in the power of the tongue. I'm asking you to teach us what to say and how to say it to our spouses, that we're not offensive to the point where the relationship is going downhill. So God, I ask for favor all day long, everywhere that we go. We ask that you touch, heal, deliver, and set free. In Jesus' precious name we pray, and we count it done. God bless you on today. Until next time, I want you to go out and enjoy your beautiful day. Bye-bye.